believe in this day and age.
At this time, we will call the GFS 340 August 12th meeting to order. Comments from patrons and guests. Very good. Communications. Do we have any additions to the agenda?
Yeah, there was an anonymous donation of rubber matting for the weight room.
Okay. And that would be on consent. So, can I get approval for the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second. All in favor? So no. Building reports. Got a lot going on now.
Wes is up.
We're off and running. Staff made it back. Rooms are looking great because the building looks great. So rah to maintenance and custodial team for making it ready for us. The biggest news that I've got is our numbers are still developing. It's like roll the dice. We go up, we go down. So I think you're going to get a numbers report later. So we roll all the kids in tomorrow. Today we had a few new students visiting, and I'll just say 50 for a good number of kindergartners. Had a great day in our transition day. No tears, no tears. Moms did great too. Moms and kids all did well. It was nice. I'm going to put a plug in for preschool because when we went places, we had kids like this. And we had kids like this, and it was like, where'd you learn that? So, but they rotated. They had time in the classroom. They went to each special, had 15 minutes of music, 15 in art, and so on. Spent some time in the library, listened to a book there. Got a tour of the building, learned what the red line is of the buses, how to do the front door. Of course, we'll reteach it tomorrow and every day until May, but they heard it today. And I got an email back that we've got excited and tired children. So it's like score. So right now we're just, I talked about those numbers because they do just keep. I have a kindergartner that was out of district approved and then went dark on me and disappeared. So, okay, down one. And then one showed up I wasn't expecting. So up. And that's just where we're at right now. So, but overall, I think we're in a good spot with our numbers. We're not down. I don't know that we're down at all. We're right in a good place. Good manageable numbers. So. Any questions for the new year?
Don't downplay that email because I got that today. So from a parent.
Oh,
She
well.
was very, very thankful to make her nervous kid, very excited.
Yeah, thank you. Thank
And
you.
Miss Comfort.
Yes, yeah, oh yeah, that's good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. We have 5th and 6th graders in the building today. It went well. It was a lot. I'm exhausted, sorry. My brain is not braining. What did we do? 5th grade kind of just hung out in their classrooms, did a little rotation, got all their supplies unpacked. 6th grade had a modified schedule where they rotated, so they knew just kind of where they needed to go. It was nice, and I told the kids, I was like, this is just an easy breezy way. You don't have to worry about the big scary 7th and 8th graders. You get to just walk your schedule and not have to worry about that. And so there were a lot of smiles. Everybody was happy. We had our student leadership team kids come who were able to help out with the 5th graders with their lockers, and then to help walk 6th graders around, and we have a few new 7th and 8th graders, so they were able to come in and help it. It was great. They just shared all sorts of stuff about the middle school, and so that was fun. Yeah, so we'll have a full day of all people tomorrow. We've had about 17 new kids this year. Lost just a couple, so we're about 240 at the middle school.
You'll have more to talk about next month.
Yes, I will when it's not so crazy.
We followed kind of the same suit with our transition day, and to have a half hour with them to have a half a day instead of an hour and a half was fabulous. We were able to really get into a little bit of information for them to know, but not so long that they were overwhelmed. They all got to walk their schedules in order, and we were able to talk about lunch and feed them and have a break, and thought it went well. I talked to a few of them afterwards. I was like, if you guys think it's something we should do different for next year, and they're like, no, we thought it was good. So I said, well, think about it though. If you think, hey, I wish they would have done this with us, to let us know, because we'll continue to tweak it. But was really enjoyable morning. Getting the energy back in the building. We had Stuco and some club members and cheer here, so we probably had 25, 30 student leaders that came back and were fabulous. They, they responded at our assembly with applause, teaching the kids this is how you should handle it and what you should do. And we had a couple of freshmen that were sitting by themselves at lunch, and they went and sat at the table with them, so they weren't by themselves with, just all the things that you want to see happen. So it was a great day. We start tomorrow with everybody. We'll do an assembly in the morning and half our schedule, the afternoon schedule. And then Friday we'll do our morning schedule and then do a handbook activity. We're gonna try a goose chase. So that'll be new for us this year, but something different. So it's not just sitting blah, 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 blah about the handbook. Sometimes it's hard to make that interesting, but we're gonna try. So it was a great day.
Very good.
Thank you.
Good evening. Our coach has been busy as well. Last Wednesday we met as a whole athletic department staff. We went over the handbooks and the new rules, the state legislature, the things that affect them the most. So we spent some time together. Those who couldn't attend, we have been meeting privately as they've been coming in and getting those done, checked off. Last night we had our fall parent night meeting for all sports, all fall sports. Great turnout. We had a full packed stand between middle school and high school. It was great to see everyone's face back in the building. Upcoming highlights, middle school and high school practices for fall begin on Monday, so we're getting the full swing of things. We've got our high school volleyball jamboree coming up on August 27th at Shawnee Mission South. It's also girls golf first tournament at Forest Field on 8/27 at 1 o'clock. And then we also have our high school football jamboree on 8/20 at Council Grove. That starts at 6 p.m. So we're getting going here pretty quickly. And then kind of same thing, big shout out to our custodial and our maintenance staff while they work good in the summer to help them get this place ready.
Thank you.
Thank
Hey, real quick, do you have any estimated numbers on the fall sports?
I got footballs, I don't have anybody else's.
Okay, do you know what that is?
About 53 is what they had.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Keystone report.
It's pretty quiet right now because we got the buildings done, we moved in, we've got assessments figured out for the year. Dr. Little, I guess she's come in like a spitfire and really making good progress, so everything's good there. Unless you know more, but it's quiet. This is a quiet season.
I've had to be quiet every now and then.
It is nice.
Very good. Okay, we're gonna get to the board issues. We have the community bond committee. We'll have you guys. There's a gun. I think I don't know how you want to do it. There's a lot. Or we have. Brad has forwarded on all the stuff to us. So if you just want to start into it, we have it on our email. We have it printed out. If you want to go over the building, however you guys want to do it, it's all you.
Well, I'll start, and then committee members can certainly add
Sure.
their thoughts.
Absolutely.
First of all, I think as a group, we want to thank the community and everyone involved. It's been a great learning process, super positive, lots of input. The forums were great. The community involvement, they raised great questions, concerns, solutions. It's just been kind of a phenomenal road. I think two of the things that came out of it that are extremely important that we're going to ask for a motion on is the work scope. We'd like you to make a motion and accept the work scope, and also directives. I know you've got a copy of those or have been given a copy of those, right?
We have
What this is?
That's work scope.
No, that's.
We have this work, the scope of work.
Yes?
Yes.
We have that as on here for a
Yeah.
motion. We do have that.
Okay, fantastic.
And then the other thing that we were looking at would be to put it on the ballot.
Okay.
So we have to, and for everybody to know, there is a certain wording that has to be read. That if we're all in agreement, everybody's cool, we'll go ahead and read that. We'll do that, and then we will do the scope of work. And then, as for, the question that will be on the ballot, right here, and correct me if I'm wrong, Brad, but we have this is kind of what we have in our packet. We will be replacing
Section
This-
3.
with this.
Yes.
Correct.
I
Okay.
can, yeah, so I will get with, the bond attorneys, Gilmore and Bell, that's who advises us, is bond attorneys. Their response to us was, your project is so vast, other than a typical, like, I'm just gonna use Perry. They're gonna build a facility and it's clear. Ours is just so many things that when you get into it, you're gonna find out that, okay, well, maybe the roof structure needs, that wouldn't be on the list, but you gotta do to support. So they were recommending, don't do all the specifics because you'll run across things, then people might say, well, that wasn't on there. Well, you didn't know you were gonna run into that.
Yeah.
Um,
And there is language to address
yeah.
that within.
Yeah,
And,
so,
and I think that if we don't have it on the bond question, you're gonna have a lot of people
so
that still aren't trusting, saying,
So,
nope, it
I will
doesn't say what
run-
they're doing.
So tomorrow morning, I will send that to the bond attorneys to say, hey, does this limit, or how best to advise getting more specific?
Can we just have it say all this and then some, gosh, I mean, that's all right.
I mean,
But I don't know how,
It shows in
That's
the-
what section F covers,
Yeah,
is the can of worms that is unbeknown until you knock the wall down.
yeah, we just want to make sure
doesn't limit us.
that the
You can't
community knows that, I got so many things on this, the scope of work. Yes, I got one laying here too. We just make sure, we want to make sure that the community, we get a focus on this as the scope.
Mhm.
So when we,
But if we can get all of this detail in the question and they're good with that, then now what they may have to do is we may have to have the board amend
the resolution.
the resolution. But I'm looking,
The resolution on the front page does not include any of the scope. So the resolution on the front page to be read tonight is fine, it doesn't include any of that. But if you start going into page here where you stick the resolution
If
number,
we
it's
find
gonna
that
need
the
that.
attorneys say different, we can make time to meet.
yes, we can make time to meet. The question is, the language that they read is referencing this resolution. And at the top of the second page is the question. So what the board might, if they could come back and say, we're going to amend that language to include more detail, then, but the resolution is referencing this,
The entire package behind this front page,
Yes.
yeah.
So let's,
because they don't have, the board doesn't have to read the whereas, KSA, the whereas, the whereas.
Yeah, yeah.
They read this,
To
that
summarize.
references this resolution number, but that includes the question.
when does this have to be to the state? And here's what I'm getting at, is if we go ahead and approve this, and then approve this also, and we find that the language is not right, can we meet back up again? I mean, do we have time to meet?
It's
Yes.
this week, yeah.
Yeah, so the board, it'll be on the board agenda in September. So we will submit it. The school finance team will review it. They have to then, they will call a group together and I have to meet with them, whoever wants to join, and they'll walk through just to make sure that we're not using bond authority to do something that's not allowable by law. So it's more of a, that's part of the process. Then it gets placed on the September agenda. So we would need to get it to them so they can do the process before it by next week.
And we'll hear from a bond attorney tomorrow, potentially?
I will reach out to the bond attorney tomorrow morning to say, is the detailed part, attorneys, do you deem allowable? And if so, let's rewrite it and then we can amend, because tonight you're going to sign something that doesn't have the detail.
Can I, if we do this, and I sign this, we send it to them, and then they say it's not right, can the board give me power to sign the amended one that would read this in this? If it's not right?
Special meeting.
I think to be legal,
We got it, but
you would have to do this again. Someone has to call it. Someone would have to have a new resolution number. It would have to, maybe we could do it for breakfast and I'll make scrambled eggs or something. Breakfast casserole.
well, worst comes to worst.
Yeah.
Do we have to publicize with like for 48 hours if we're amending it to
Yeah,
make the
but you,
changes?
as a board, if you're all agreeable, you can waive, so there's a special board meeting has to allow you enough time to have the information to make a decision, and you could waive that amount of time.
Okay, because we're providing the information.
Yes, you're provided, but you could waive, we would make notice. So we could set something for like, today's Wednesday. We could set something for like Monday. Give the attorneys then time to draft the new language, get it to us. I think Monday would be enough time.
What's everybody's, I'm open, so to everybody's Monday, just a real quick meet up. Everybody good? Let's go with that.
We'll make it.
So pending on what the attorney says on that. So we've covered this part.
And I apologize for the stinking stuff. We were told, that this was a draft and
This
we were
has gotta have
thinking
the
there was
best
going
chance
to be
win to get, so I don't care. if we have to meet again.
negotiations before this final was
Yeah, I
tonight.
don't care if
And we
have
didn't
to
get
meet
this
again.
until,
If this what needs to be
So
on
we're
there,
okay with meeting again. for
it ain't
this.
no big deal.
so.
Yeah, so as soon as we got the final scope from the committee, then we sent it to the bond advisors, who then sent it to the bond attorneys. And then a week later, the bond attorneys sent all of the language back and then sent it to us. And so, yeah, I'm not saying, there might be some attorneys in here. They don't turn it around fast.
The date on here was really confusing for us because it's 7/27 and we didn't meet until the 30th.
Yeah, that's when we started sending the bond advisor information to say, here's what I think that they're going, and start drafting language, because I didn't think it was gonna change much, and it didn't. But I wanted them to get it to work, because I know it takes them some time.
Yeah.
And I knew we were getting,
And I apologize, Cliff, when we talked, I thought, well, we got it on the 30th. That's why I was,
yeah. But I wanted to get things rolling so they could start working on language, and they're like, well, it'll take 2 weeks. I said, well, here's where they're at today, and I don't think, and it didn't change. I don't think anything was taken off. But I told them there might be like, maybe the centralized kitchen, I don't know.
Yeah.
But at least get working on the language, because we were in a quick turnaround to make sure that we had all of this for tonight. So,
now we covered that, we won't do this motion just yet. Do you guys wanna go, I mean, we've all read and hammered this about 100 times. But you guys have done the work. Do you wanna go through this real quick with us and just kind of,
Is it the
we don't need to
directive?
hit on the scope, we don't need to hit
Oh,
on everyone.
yeah.
Just, you know, anything that kind of stands out or is a little different, that might have deviated from before.
One thing we did add was the HVAC element.
Go ahead with it. Yeah.
From what you guys have seen, over and over and over again, the two changes that we made were combining the column for the centralized kitchen into the infrastructure column. And then we added after multiple conversations, we added a row under elementary school for $0 for HVAC in case we needed that for an allowance if we.
The HVAC upgrade,
HVAC upgrade, yeah.
should you upgrade gym?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then on the directive you received where it said Jeff made the motion to adopt this scope, that, what's missing is it was amended, and it should say to add air conditioning to the elementary school gym if funds allow. That amendment wasn't included.
Yeah, it was a zero item funding, but
Needs to be on
put
the
in
scope.
there so that if
If there's money.
you find money in the process,
Or there's a grant.
yeah.
Right.
Very good. Is that, what was the other thing that you said that and I didn't catch the other?
We had just combined the centralized kitchen from its own column into the infrastructure column.
It was originally in its own column,
Okay.
and we put it in
Didn't
infrastructure.
change any dollars or what
Yeah.
the recommendation is, it just slid over to
Very
different
good.
row, up and down.
Does anybody have any questions on our end? Okay. Then let's, to do this properly, let's read this one first.
Okay, so we are doing the
We'll
motion?
do the motion
Okay,
first, read on
for
it.
both of them?
Do this one first and then we'll do to adopt the two.
Okay, and we
Yep.
can amend that if needed?
Yep.
Okay. We don't want to amend it, but I'm sure this is no surprise to anybody that there's a lot of red tape when you get into the political side of all of this, so. Okay, I move the board pass a resolution authorizing and providing for the calling of a bond election in Unified School District Number 340, Jefferson County, Kansas, Jefferson West, for the purpose of submitting to the qualified electors of the district a question of issuing a general obligation bonds of the district, authorizing application to the State Board of Education for capital improvement state aid, and providing for the giving of notice of the bond election.
Second.
All in favor? 7-0. Okay, the next one will be the motion on the scope.
Okay, I move the board accept the recommendations from the bond committee and to follow the scope of work as presented to the board.
Second.
All in favor? 7-0.
Third time's a charm.
We will definitely be in touch with you guys on what
Yeah.
comes of this. If we're doing a quick meeting on Monday. We will, but this will still not change.
So, I'm not playing around on my phone.
Are you sure? I do have a question. The directives, did you get the directives?
I don't know what you mean.
What was sent
It
to
was
you?
just some recommendations. from the
Recommendations
committee.
from us.
You guys got a letter from Melissa that listed several things. Could you just accept that as recommendations from the committee?
On,
Which one was it?
Yeah, when did you send it?
We've got,
I think you got it
everything
on
else.
Fourth or something.
I don't know that I did get it. Did it go to?
it should have had things such as, working with the city, since they have the low to mid income status
Do you want me to
to
read
get
these?
grants.
The grants?
Yeah, you got it there, yeah.
Okay, I can email it to you, but the directives are the committee would like the board to research and evaluate all firms involved with the bond to ensure we're dealing with the most qualified candidates. That was specifically about the architects. The committee would like the board to advertise for volunteers for the bond advisory committee.
The committee recommends the board create a grant committee to research and apply for as many grants as possible and partner with the city of Meriden to increase the qualifications due to the current 5-year economic rating of the city. And the fourth one, after the scope of work is complete, if there are extra funds, the committee recommends the board use the extra funds to pay down the bond principal.
We
received
You
that.
got it.
We did.
Yes,
We have
I
it.
found it.
Mhm.
It's from Brad.
It was-
It's
Oh,
Brad.
okay.
Yeah, from Melissa.
Could you just,
Like you said, we've got.
could you just accept that or attach it to the minutes as the committee's report? As a report from the committee?
Attach it to,
Attach it to tonight's minutes as a report from,
yeah.
as a report from the committee.
Yeah.
Melissa, can you email that to me, please?
Yeah.
Do it right now.
Absolutely. And this, all this stuff isn't on Diligent, but it will be.
Yeah.
We will upload.
Yeah.
All that.
Mhm.
We'll put that in.
Yeah. You just attach it to the minutes and it's there, what we recommended as a committee and people will see it.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
Now the work begins for the next couple of months.
Well, thank you all for the work
Yes.
Yeah.
you do
Once again.
to get us here. Because we know it's not an easy task.
Okay.
We appreciate it.
Okay, I can actually talk faster than I can text. I'm sending a picture of this to the bond advisor.
Okay.
So he can get started on it tonight. But I'm going to talk into my phone here, so.
Put this
Talking
on
to
you.
yourself.
Yeah.
Went ahead and approved.
Have a quick meeting outside about when we're gonna get together again.
Tomorrow, right? Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you all.
Thank you very much.
So that's it. I forgot to bring my.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
I'll email you a clear copy.
What's that?
I'll email you a clear copy.
Oh, thanks.
That way it's not a
I
picture.
I just texted it, a picture of it to him, and I'll follow up in the morning. Thank you.
Okay, moving along to
Fun stuff.
KSB policy recommendations. I've been in the sun all day. And
That
a
is
little work.
It's hot today.
This is not much change except for the cell phone on cell phone.
And we went through, so all but one of them are policies we already have. They're just redlined additions. The one that is new is obviously the cell phone one. I don't know if you noticed when you walked in,
Yes.
all the boxes where they can put them in. That is their 8th hour teacher, but then they will grab them and they'll have them if, but the policy is not practice. It doesn't say you have to have boxes. That's just how we're meeting the requirement. But it is legislation. You listen to the news, this month, every board across the state is adopting this same policy. The one thing that we will have in it is we had the choice of may or shall not, and we chose may, that when they're on an activity bus, when they're on their way to a game, when they're on, so when school's not in session, we said they may have them. It's, this is really the requirement. When you're in the building, you just can't have access to your cell phone.
So for some of these classes, like journalism, for example, where they've made TikToks or they made other things, like what's the plan for? They just can't do that now.
So that'll be part of the next item.
Oh.
To where, how we communicate. So it does allow that if it is a part of a curriculum,
Okay.
if it is a part of a requirement, it's something structured, the whole purpose is, even language and one of the other, which was policy, IBGC is to prevent staff from communicating with students with an app that is not approved by the district. And it has to be controlled by the district. So there would be some that we're gonna have to make adjustments that if we don't have control over, where, like the Remind app, Huddle, we can see and we can control and, you know, things like that. So there are things that we'll probably say, well, you can't use that anymore because that's not a district controllable. So they're gonna have to find journalism classes or have been looking into this for the last 6 months since the legend. How are we going to pivot? But yeah, there's still more questions than answers right now.
I'm sure there always is.
The reality is they can record it and do it.
Anybody have any other questions on this?
Yeah. No, it was riveting reading.
Let's get it done.
You want me to
Yeah.
keep making the motions, Aaron, or you want to take over?
Go for it, you can make that long one.
That's not a long one, is it? No. I move the board approve the KASC policy recommendations as presented. Woo!
That was hard.
Second.
Okay. 7-0.
Erin has the hard work. Now she has to go in and update every one of those.
We've been through this.
Okay, moving right along. The next one is the district communication. So touch base a little bit on it, but we'll keep going.
So this was the policy that we already had the policy. The legislation required changes to it. And again, the intent behind it was, you know, every now and then you hear the bad story of some employee that was communicating, you know, using Instagram or whatever with kids, and it was not appropriate. So we have to, and do we have the updated copy of the
Yes.
list?
The list, yeah.
Okay, you got it, okay. These are the ones that we currently use. They are the ones, now, we will add to it when we learn more. If there are, I added my notes, this is flexible, we might be able to add to it, but as of today, we use, you know, obviously our district webpage, district Gmail, Huddle is what coaches use, like on a Saturday morning, they'll send players, you know, highlight, you know, hey, you know, with comments that, you know, here's an example of when you should have slid down and shut off the baseline, or, you know, just, that's one Quinn always got. Shut off the baseline. Thrill Share and Apogee, Bright Wheel, that's the one that the preschool uses to communicate with parents. Obviously, Facebook Messenger, we have a district Facebook account that we message things out.
Well, why, Facebook is different than Messenger though, Facebook Messenger. What are we using the Messenger portion for?
Example, we got a message from a parent, our calendar's out yet.
Okay.
As long as
So
we're
just
logged in as the
responding.
district, yes, just being able to
Okay, we're
respond.
not sitting out, oh, gotcha.
Which we can cover why the calendars aren't out yet here in a little bit. But Remind, that's the one that all staff use to communicate. Band, that is not banned. Class, that's what like the cheerleaders use because they can include video. So they can, like the head cheerleader or someone that's responsible for that week's, they can record themselves, send it to the other cheerleaders. They can start practicing the moves before they come. So So those are ones that we can think of right now that we use. We will add to them. But if you're using Instagram, I'm just gonna make this up, if you're FCCLA and you had an Instagram account that you were using we're not gonna be able to use that anymore. You're gonna have to.
With the Bright Wheel, I don't know about Bright Wheel. Is there a reason they don't just utilize the same apps that we utilize for all the other schools?
So with preschool, I believe there has to be a check in and out system.
Okay.
And that's the one that we decided to
Okay.
go with, and it has a messaging feature on it.
Nope,
So-
sounds good. I just was curious. Thank
Is
you.
that right?
Part of
Yeah,
the,
that's the biggest piece of that. There was a monetary piece of that, but we're using our system. But the communication, login, checkout, for the teacher parent.
Very
is-
necessary.
It's well liked by families.
preschool has assurances that to be approved state-run preschool, there has to be a way for parents to, like if you go to creche, you fingerprint or scan the QR code, you gotta log every time you drop the kid off and take them out.
Yeah, no, makes sense.
All
I was
right.
curious.
Anybody got questions?
Kelly forgot.
Do coaches not use GroupMe anymore? Is that not?
No, we asked them a couple years back to either pick GroupMe or
No, one or
Remind.
the other? Got it.
Yeah, because there were a lot of incoming students who didn't know where to go, were missing information because there was multiple
Okay,
ones being used.
gotcha.
Or if you had kids in multiple sports, you had to have multiple apps.
Right, yeah.
Do we know how many of these are subscriptions that we pay for, and if there's, it just seems like there's a lot. And I understand like the Facebook thing, we have to send out certain communications, that's probably the largest social media, way to reach people, but like cheerleaders are communicating, sports people are communicating, preschool, everyone else, it's like, there's all these apps. Have there been any type of look into like, can we consolidate this into?
Yes, so there is, and that's kind of when I put my notes. This time of year, there's so many subscriptions that we're covering for the year.
Right.
And so we got together, some of them were like dropping them, but some of these come with, like, when we purchased our student information system, like Remind is part of that package. So some of these are part of another package,
Okay.
but it's gotta be included. There are some that we just said we had to look at, like the Stop It app.
Mm-hmm.
We had to really think about, okay, it doesn't get used a lot, but what if we quit using it and one kid wanted to, so yeah, we've ended some subscriptions this year, but there are some, we have an app that allows alumni and everybody to have, by law, we have to provide access to transcripts. Well, there's now an app that does, and we're like, okay, well,
Of course, this is shorter.
Yeah. Yeah, so, yeah,
The district webpage is part of Thrillshare and Apogee, so those kind of.
Oh, sure,
Yeah.
yeah.
but we just wanna make sure when someone says Thrillshare, okay, you approve that. But it's part of a suite.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like, why? I thought technology was gonna make things cheaper and easier,
Harder.
and subscriptions just kill us.
Yeah, you might as well go back to cable.
Yeah.
Well, it's like but it's like the conversation that we've had with people that want to, out of convenience, be able to use a debit or credit card to make payments. That is convenient. That's why they call it a convenience fee that we're getting, but people are now like, well, why do I have to write, in today's time, I have to write a check? Well, for convenience, we're paying you know, it costs the district to be convenient, so.
One other thing real quick is, the pickup patrol, is that not really classified as a communication?
It is,
Yeah,
yeah, that's a big
I would
one.
hate to leave that one off and
And
put you
that-
on a patrol.
That's what the elementary uses for transportation.
And that one was,
That's a huge.
But now, students aren't on it, but we have to have it on the list for approval.
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
actually communicating with?
well, that's how we let them know.
Yeah, we don't.
Oh, I
Kids
just
up
didn't know
instead
that
of
was just
calling.
preference.
We don't call anymore. We do it all through an app.
No, I know, but like,
But
are you,
is
like,
it-
is it a back and
Is
forth?
it a back and
communication?
forth?
Like you're
Well,
typing.
someone
a message?
approves it, so I
Yeah.
know that they approved it.
Yeah,
but we don't
it's not a
talk.
conversation. You're you know, it's 4 o'clock in the morning and kiddo just got sick. You can log in and say, one, the absence, okay? Or it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon,
I
something
would
changes.
say we add it.
I think to cover it, be safe to add, but it is helped reduce the stress in the office. Parents can communicate multiple days at a time and we don't lose nobody.
Whoever, can you make that motion, or can you add that to, what's it called?
Pickup patrol. Pickup patrol.
Okay, whoever makes the motion, because this is an action item,
To include.
to just add that to it.
That's why I said this will be added to as the way to get, I spent last week, I just had to look, make sure my phone was turned back off. All the superintendents in Northeast Kansas, we have a group, and they were like, well, what are you adding? What are you know, because there's just stuff you don't think about in today's day.
Somebody that's not very good at any technology, doesn't know anything other than the www.
No, you don't.
USD 3/4. The rest of them, I'm not sure. So this is an action item, somebody wants to add that.
Go for it.
I move the board approve the district communications list as presented with the addition of pickup patrol as presented.
Second.
On favor? 7-0.
Alright. That's what I was thinking too.
District budget.
So, while I'm getting this pulled up, you might wanna get a glass or a bottle of water. Not to drink, but to periodically splash on your face. I had it up.
And he was
So we'll go a little more into detail on budget numbers, but I'm going to try and use my mouse because it's backwards from this. I'm trying to get rid of all this up there.
You're good. Hide quick access toolbox.
Look at that.
It should be.
Yeah. Well, so most of the information will be down in the bottom half, and if someone figures out how to get rid of all this up here, that would be great. So, if you look over the last few years, our assessed valuation went from 72 million to 77, and now we're up to 81. And that's just the value of property within our district boundaries. Now, when you look at the bond information, it'll be a couple million higher because this only is tangible, it doesn't include motor vehicle. But we do get extra money from motor vehicle, but that comes in separately, different. So, you know, so 1 mil automatically is gonna generate more money. So our 8 mil capital outlay, we will exceed revenue neutral in just about everything because the same mill levy is gonna generate more money. And there was actually a bill to exempt that, but it never got passed. Our enrollment from the last 3 years, we went from 835 to 826 to 840. So for this budget, I'm putting in 855. And that might be a little high. We don't know, because when we talk about enrollment numbers here in a minute, we're estimating how many will be here on September 21st. September 20th is the count date, but that's a Sunday. So it'll be the 21st, and we'll have kids move in, kids move out. So I've added 5 or 15 students to it. But we still have 8 students from last year that haven't enrolled yet. Tomorrow is first day of school. Now, that might mean they're just not coming. But our numbers that I'm going to share with you here in a little bit changed from this morning. Pam was like, "Oh, you want an updated one?" I'm like, "Sure, that'd be awesome." Free lunch, I put 220. Now, I may adjust, so part of the process is next week I will send this to the Vindicator that it's got to be printed. The code 99's got to be printed, and I'll share that with you. I may adjust this in the next 2 days if we have more kids that fill out free lunch apps. But that's the number we had last year. 220 of our students qualified for free lunch. The important piece of that is that generates then the money we use to support our students that have risk factors. Just because you're a free lunch student doesn't mean you're behind academically, but it's how many free lunch kids you have then generates a pot of money that you use for kids. You could be a very affluent family and you have a kid that struggles with, reading or whatever. So, but that number's been going down. Tells a little, that's great that our community is, we have fewer kids that qualify for free lunch. It could be that people just aren't filling out, but it's good if they do because it provides additional resources for us to support students that are struggling reading. Career Tech Ed minutes, bilingual, we don't get much from that because we don't have very many kids. This is a number here, this 500. Public pupils transported for whom transportation is being made available and reside in the district. How many, so they've got to live more than 2.5 miles from the building they would attend. What percent of our student body do you think live within 2.5 miles of the high school, the middle school, or elementary school?
Not many at all.
So let's say 20%. I think that's high. So if you take the math people, 855 kids times 80%, that's like 650 kids. That number last year was 380. And it's like, that can't be right. So we're going to be very diligent about it. They don't have to get on the bus. but we make it available because at any day, some parent could call Melvin and say, I want you to pick up my kid, and we have to.
Really?
Yeah, anytime. If they're 2.5 miles or more, we have to provide it. Well, we got 18 subdivisions, we got,
Right.
so I think that, so I plugged in 500. That's $100,000 difference from 380 to 500. And it's like, so we're gonna do our due diligence of making sure that that number is correct. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. All the information comes into, we have our 855, our preschool numbers, it says 4.0. Well, our preschool kids only qualify for 0.5. So that's 8. But a lot of them have IEPs, and they're counted in the regular count. So just, you may be an IEP that has a risk factor, but you can only be counted once. And if they have an IEP, then they're going to be counted in a different number. So these are just the ones that have a risk factor, but don't have an IEP. All of the ones that are just paying tuition don't show up anywhere in here because we don't get state funding for them. They're just paying tuition. They'll be in our enrollment numbers that you'll see, but they don't show up on here because they don't generate state money. So, so that's our adjusted enrollment. I shouldn't try to click on it because it's, okay. Adding those two together, this is, I'm gonna scroll up and move over there. This is low enrollment. So we get the equivalent like we have another 252 students. I'm gonna move through this, Aaron.
You saw me on there.
Splash some water on your face. And the reason there's low enrollment is the smaller your district is, just because we lose 10 kids across the district, that's a lot of money, but that doesn't mean we can just get rid of a teacher. Same thing is, we add 10 students. That doesn't mean we have to add a teacher. So it's just an economy of scale. We get low enrollment. Bilingual weighting, we only have a handful, so they don't generate much for us. Everything's converted to a full-time equivalent student. Technical ed, it's that the minutes that our kids are in there, it generates the equivalent of 13.2 more kids. So these are all just keep adding. At-risk weighting, those 220 kids generates the equivalent of another 106 kids enrolled in our district. That's about little over $500,000 that those free lunch kids, then that money has to be used on working with kids that are behind grade level, tiered interventions, all of that. Transportation, we generate about $464,000 with those 380 students that we had. Well, okay, take that back. I plugged in 500. So without that, we're only getting around 364,000. So that's an area that we're really going to look at as, why are those kids not showing up when we know we don't have that many kids within 2.5 miles? Special ed weighting, that's the money that's going to flow through us, and we have to send on to Keystone.
At 5778, that's the per.
The Bay State aid per pupil. So everything gets converted to the equivalent of a full-time student. And when you get to the bottom, it's multiplied by $5,778. That's the Bay State aid. So a preschool kid is half of that. A free lunch kid generates 0.484 of that.
And it's been floating around that number for how long?
Well, they've actually started increasing it about 3 years ago because of a court case. So what they did to offset it is they're not fully funding special ed.
Yeah. But wasn't it just a couple years ago on like 52 or 55?
Yeah. It'll go up about $150 a year. So anyway, so our general fund budget is, trying to read this sideways, 8.8 million. And then our supplemental general is about 33% of that. So I will just show you those real quick. So our general fund budget is 8.8 million. Every one of them has the revenue coming in. Now, this is predominantly, we all pay 20 mills. That 20 mills goes to the state, and then they send us, and whatever it doesn't cover, they make up the difference. So that money doesn't flow to us. And then you have 2 years ago, last year, and this year's anticipated expenses. So that additional weighting of, if we can get a more accurate transportation, I just plug this number in. So if it's true we have more, I just plug that in, but I didn't allocate it to anything. But if we get more accurate, we now have the budget authority to spend it. So our supplemental general fund is 2.9 million. And those two added together is how we operate the district. And same thing, that 33 million, so those two added, because if the general fund goes up 100,000, the supplemental will go up 33,000 because it's 33%. So those two added together would generate, I don't know why we wouldn't be around 600 kids. But I went back and looked for years, we just haven't, so that's something we're focusing on this year. I can go through every fund, federal, we'll get 81,000 in Title I. That is used for our elementary Title I program, so Amanda Fireborn, the AIDS. We get 15,000 in Title II, that's professional development. In Title IV, Part A, that's like technology, innovative, but those are federal funds. We don't get a lot, but it all helps. But you can see those numbers haven't gone up, they've actually gone down. Title I for us has gone down. The federal government's not putting really any more in it. And there are other states that are having more poverty challenges than Kansas. So we will always, we're not Miami-Dade County, we're not. So I'm going to show you this real quick just because we had the conversation. So this is our bond and interest fund. We have $673,000 sitting in there. And this was a big question through, why can't we use that for something else? Well, when you look at allowable expenses, interest, bond fees, and principal. You don't have the authority to fix something in the district because when you levy it, it has to go to principal and interest payments. And the only way to get it out of there, to put it like in capital outlay, to do something is for this group to say, pass a resolution or a motion saying, we don't anticipate in the future ever, in the foreseeable future, needing a bond issue. Well, we've been talking about bond issues for 3 years, so we really can't do that. So that means it has to stay in there, but the value is, since it's there, when we start levying, if the bond were to pass, and we make that first levy to pay off principal and interest payments, those first ones, the mill levy will be a little lower because we already started out with $673,000. So it helps the taxpayer. If we had nothing in there, the mill levy would have to be a little higher to be able to make sure we have enough money to make that first payment. So it's that's why it has to stay there, because you don't have authority in that fund to pay for something other than principal or interest payments. So, the last thing I will share with you, unless you have, then we'll open it up for requests. This is the notice of hearing that you will see in the Vindicator. I will send it there on Monday so it can be in the Vindicator. But this just shows last year, this year, and our proposed budget. The mill levy for general is always 20 mills. The supplemental is estimated to be 13.9. Last year was 13.6. So it's going to go up 0.3%. And it just all depends on how much state aid we get versus in capital outlay is 8 mills. It also includes the revenue neutral, which that has nothing to do with your mill levy. It has to do with, will your mill levy generate more taxes than it did prior? And they will. Last year, it was 1,529,000. This year, it'll be 1,786,000. And that wasn't caused by the 0.3, it's just valuations went up. So, questions?
Can you scroll up? And the only reason I asked this is because it's on this paper I signed. The total evaluation, tangible value was on the very first thing you showed us. Very first page. So, and what I'm looking at is there's numbers on this. It's kind of fuzzy. Equity, assessed value, tangible or taxable tangible property. Why aren't these matching? That there's sort of 26.
Yeah, so that's why I said what you have there is going to be more than this.
Yes, it
because
is.
that includes recreational vehicle, motor vehicle,
All the stuff you pay personal property tax.
Personal, yeah, commercial vehicle.
It's 83 million,
Yeah.
649.
Yeah, that one will be higher because we will collect that, but this is just assessed value of
Real property.
real property.
You said that, and I just, before I signed this
Yeah.
on,
But
on that.
that's why I wanted to point it out, because when you look at that, it's going to be it's going to be a higher number, because, so if you go buy an RV, a little bit of it is gonna go to the bond.
Yeah, if you go buy a new truck, everybody goes buy a new
Yeah.
truck, then
Yeah.
you'll get a little bit more money.
Yeah,
Make it happen.
I'm out.
so anyway, any other questions on this? So you don't take action on it, we'll post it in the Vindicator, the Code 99, the September board meeting. We will actually meet a little bit before the regular meeting to hold a hearing. And then during the regular meeting, the board will vote to approve the budget. I just want to walk through it so you know. And if anybody has questions, tell them to get a hold of me.
Sounds good.
We'll just be playing on broad.
Let's talk about some more numbers, district enrollment numbers. You have that in front of you.
Yep.
So this is as of 4:30.
Right, this is way higher than what you're gonna say though,
Yes,
But
by like 40.
yes.
Okay.
So we'll walk through it. So let's start at the bottom to address that. We are setting at 16 3-year-olds and 31 4-year-olds. Those 47 are not included,
Okay.
they're half.
because they're in the different, and they're a 0.5.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say half of those won't show up anywhere because they're paying a tuition.
Right.
Since they don't generate state money, they won't be on here.
Okay.
Well, I mean, they're on this, but
As,
they won't be on the budget.
okay.
The budget is only for kids that are generating funds.
Okay, that makes sense.
Now, the one thing we don't have yet, and I didn't show you on there, I have it right here, so I am budgeting for virtual kids that enroll but attend our Green Bush virtual, so the money flows through us, we pay them, about 9 kids. And then 4.5 part-time. So, because we have some that may attend Washburn Tech in the morning, and then they do virtual in the afternoon. Because that flows in differently than a brick and mortar kid. But they typically generate, that group will generate, if you remember late spring, we had to republish the virtual budget, because we went from like 4 kids to 11 kids. And we didn't budget for that many, so we had to republish. We were gonna get the money, but we didn't have the authority to spend it, so we had to republish that fund. So,
But basically, without counting on the way you said, that's a large number of kids for our district. That's huge.
well, so part of, and I try to update you, that number was higher. A lot of these numbers were higher in mid-July. In preschool, you have to maintain a 1-to-10 ratio. And we were about 4 kids away from having to go to a 3rd section. Well, as of today, some of those kids decided not to come, so we could, we can relax a little bit. We went ahead, because I was gonna be gone for 9 days, we went ahead. Well, let's get an advertisement out there so we can at least get some names in case when I come back, we had 7 more show up. But it actually went down a little bit, so we're setting really good. But we do have some good applicants. We especially some parents. The challenge with the preschool is Keystone is doing their count their kids in right now. Over the next 3-4 weeks. If we find kids that have an IEP, we're required, to serve them. So the nice thing is we've got some names if we have to, if like the 4-year-olds and we end up adding 6 or, but we have some names that we might, if we can get by with extra para support, or if we,
How come we don't use Keystone for Paris at preschool?
we do,
We do, so we have both.
yes.
We have
So-
some Jeff West and some.
So there's a licensed special ed teacher with 2 paras.
Oh, okay.
We have, I can count them out, but we have, the problem is, we have a few students that require one-on-one. So it's hard, to,
So those, we need to make sure they're ours, so we know that they're in-house at all times. Because Keystone, sometimes you never know if we're gonna have them or not, right?
so we're set with a teacher and 2 paras.
Okay, so we don't, we're
Yeah, yeah, so they've staffed, we have it.
so that's not,
The concern is sometimes one or two of the kids require you have to have someone with them the whole time. Well, 2 of the paras, and now the teachers, so.
sure, I get it.
Yeah, so but we had that when it was just Keystone Special Ed. They're just part of us and the staff blended in with us.
Okay.
Hold on, sorry. As we're talking, I have a new application for a 4-year-old with an IEP.
Okay.
So you got a number, next few days, it could
We're
go
gonna
up.
keep going up.
So when he was saying 19, if that number hadn't come down, we would have just maxed out. Well, let's assume everything goes forward, we would max out 1 room and not be able to add any more kids for the rest of the year. I mean, so assume you stay at 20.
Right.
Now, it came down a little bit, but now just that fast, we can go right back to 17 in a room.
And these are district kids.
What's what it says. I just read an email, so I have work to do, so I'm gonna say yes, that's what they said. So,
So the non-resident student, or as the out of district law only applies kindergarten on up.
Okay.
It does not apply to preschool. So we only accept out of district preschool if there's a strong belief there'll be a kindergarten.
Okay.
They've got a sibling, they're an alumni, they're, it's just, but the one where we have to post openings is only K-12. We don't now, we have had a request. Well, if we believe, and I'm just gonna use this as an example, you're an Oskaloosa alumni, your family and everything, but you want to come to our preschool? No.
Yeah.
We're not,
That makes sense.
we're trying to prepare kids that we believe are going to be, especially when we're growing and we're getting close to that
Yeah.
number, we're not going to let
Sure.
out of district that don't,
That makes total sense.
yeah. So, the kindergarten is right at $49.50, that changes. we took that back to 3 sections this year instead of 4. Because, you know, and you can just look through there, just the differences between this year's 5th graders. That was one of those classes that, you know, you're gonna get a small group. So, and then you look at our freshmen, 85, and, you know, so it's just gonna fluctuate. Of these numbers, 26 are new, non-resident
This year.
this year. 22 are new move-ins to the district. Which means we had possibly 35 to 40 kids leave. That's just how fluid we are, that, you know, it's, and when you think across the state, just the mobility of families and kids anymore, but, and we have several classes that are, we've turned away, or denied several requests for out of district because we have classes that are full. These are just the ones where we had space. We've denied a few because of their attendance at the prior, you know, it's just, but if we can't justify that they were, the law says, and policy uses the law, not in good standing in their prior, then by law we have to take them. So, but that's just how fluid, I just wanted to share that with you. The good thing for us is a lot of our neighbors are going down in enrollment. The majority of school districts in the state are declining in enrollment. Unless you're suburban, you know, growing or close, our enrollment is going up just a little. But that number will change between now and September 20th.
Perfect.
So.
Moving along to the Health Insurance Committee.
So we're in the process of getting the band back together. And Dave Jensen served on the last, but the negotiated agreement has a building administrator, the superintendent, a board member. I mean, it spells out a retired employee that's still on the health plan. So, but we do need to have the board appoint. We're putting the committee together, and we need a board member that would like to serve on the health insurance.
Matt has already offered to do it, so everybody can chill.
Jesus. I was like, you're a big guy.
I'll take one for, but here's my, I don't wanna see it cut, cause I do have good health insurance myself.
I have the health insurance.
So I want to make sure we're not just, they vote on it, but I do wanna have a voice to say, you know, let's not just go get the cheapest thing we can.
Well, I think a representative group like that, I think you're gonna have.
Yeah, but it's like that.
Well, in the whole scheme of things, you know, and every district is financially in a position, but for different reasons. Health insurance is a big one for us because we don't have any control over it. Being on the state pool, they just tell us, here's what you have to do, and we don't have flexibility on that. And then everybody's dealing with special ed, you know, the struggles with that. But this committee ultimately will have to bring a recommendation to the board that you vote to approve. But I agree, it'll be a good group. I think everybody recognizes, there might be something better. And
Without looking into it, you don't know.
yeah,
It's gone up such an astronomical amount lately. Well, and so the other thing is we're not out of our contract just yet. We still have 2 more years.
2 more years, so
Right.
this gives us time to really.
But we gotta re-up in a year. Or there's
We
a,
have about a year and a half.
Yeah.
You gotta give notice.
yeah,
What
so,
is the year end for it? Is it
Isn't it October?
January through
so-
December, or is it?
December is the end of the first year.
Okay.
But,
They have to.
so about a year and a half from now, we would have to give notification that we're planning to leave.
Gotcha.
Like end of September, early October.
but an open enrollment is in October, November.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that is an action.
Is it?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh. Yeah, Aaron, it's an action item.
I didn't pass the motion because I didn't want to set someone up.
I would recommend the board appoint Matt Williams to that position to be on the health insurance committee. Do we need an actual motion?
Second, yeah.
So, 7 hours. I don't know.
Just said recommendation.
Unanimous.
I guess we are into the executive session time. We'll have 2. We'll have personnel and then negotiation.
What about? Oh wait, sorry. Nope, my bad. I looked.
I'm good at skipping stuff. So, 15 for the first one. 15 for the first.
Do you want to? Never mind.
To include.
This is negotiation.
Nope, this
No,
is
it's that
personnel.
first.
Oh, I gave you the wrong sheet.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
Mr. President, I move to enter executive session for KSA 75-4319 for a period of 15 minutes at 7:53 p.m. to discuss personnel issues of non-elected personnel under COMA exception, including Brad Newenswander and admin. With the open meeting to resume in the boardroom at 8:08 p.m.
Second.
All in favor? 7.
No, we have to be right.
Where's my time?
Everybody vote 3.
Mr. President, I move to enter executive session for KSA 75-4319 for a period of 15 minutes at 8:09 p.m. to discuss personnel issues of non-elected personnel under COMA exception, including Dr. Newenswander and admin, with the open meeting to resume in the boardroom at, did you do the math?
No, we're not. Just
It'll be, yeah, so it'll be 24, yep, 8:24 p.m.
Second.
All in favor?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's my dream for the first thing tomorrow.
I'm still on contract.
You have babies.
Yeah.
More time.
Eventually, the board.
Personnel 20.
There you are. Mr. President, I move to enter executive session per KSA 75-4319 for a period of 10 minutes at 8:25 PM to discuss personnel issues of non-elected personnel under coma exception, including Dr. New and Swander, and admin, with the open meeting to resume in the boardroom at 8:45 PM.
Second.
Okay, 7-0.
I didn't need you this time, John.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Mr. President, I move to enter executive session for KSA 75-4319 for a period of 15 minutes at 8:36 PM to discuss personnel issues of non-elected personnel under coma exception, including Dr. Newman Swander and admin, with the open meeting to resume in the boardroom at 8:51 PM. Second. Yeah. 7. I got a big day tomorrow, guys.
Ten for.
Well, I gotta move to the.
Oh, yeah, sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Then we're going.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Vote on this.
I got one. Ready?
Let's try to save our sentence.
I move to accept the contracts for Danielle Vincent as middle school head secretary, Don Barsick, high school custodian, Elijah Spice, elementary school custodian, Sarah Duckworth, preschool food service, Patsy Baker, high school food service, Daisy Lutz, high school secretary, and Kaisa Farrant, middle school assistant volleyball coach, as presented.
Second.
All in favor? 7-0.
Come on.
Took a long time to get to it.
Mr. President.
Hold on.
Yes.
Yeah.
2, go. Mr. President, I move to enter executive session for KSA 75-4319 for a period of 10 minutes at, let's say, 8:55 PM. He's got 2 minutes. To discuss employer-employee negotiations under the coma exception, including Dr. New and Swander, with the open meeting to resume in the boardroom at 9:05. I couldn't remember.
Was that with the 3-minute break, 9:05?
Yeah, okay.
Second.
All in favor?
7. I couldn't remember.
I like.
Oh, wait. There's no action right now.
Tuesday.
Shut up. Oh my God, this is a random
Okay, so we just have the.
So to get that smile, yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Safe and secure grant.
I was packing up before we were done.
Playground grant, we're 4.
Yeah. Superintendent report.
Yeah, so just,
Someone said it was ours.
we're still going after grants. We did receive the Safe and Secure Schools grant. It's a 100% match. So it was around 6,000, so we'll match it. And that's gonna go towards security cameras. So you think about 4 buildings now, and there's dead spots, there's, and some of them are 15 years old and some of them are a year old. So it's just trying to keep our security cameras up to date on that. In addition, for security. Now that we're at Ozaki, our radios from buses to be able to communicate, so to get the tower back up and running to where we can communicate between Ozaki and Meriden with
Oh,
radios.
yeah.
So that's what
Think
we're,
about that.
I know. Remember that.
so we don't want the Ozaki group to be on an island. And with district office over there, it's just, so that's what we're gonna be working on. The playground equipment grant that we wrote and received to get the preschool playground equipment. Was notified that there's money back available, so we're gonna pursue, trying to see what kind of upgrades we can get for some of our, maybe some swings, handicap accessibility, stuff, so we're,
We talked at one meeting about, yeah, benches and trash cans, and then at one of these bond things, someone brought up like some type of sunshade.
Canopies.
Yeah,
Yes.
because it gets hot.
so I'm gonna reach out to the guy and say, okay, does it have to be something that has to get the heart rate up? Because the grant is for fitness,
Mhm.
but can it be adding, I mean, things like that? So we're gonna pursue to see what, but if not, there might, we don't have any of that written into the bond. It's a dollar for dollar match, but we're gonna pursue and see what we can, because yes, it is hot.
Oh, I
At the preschool, there's not even a place to sit, but, so we're gonna pursue that one.
Or you think it's getting hacked again?
Someone hacked it again?
Because you can hear them talking.
I know.
Earlier I heard someone
Well, it's
talking
anyway,
too.
but we're gonna take over.
So, Wes, so we met with, and I'll let you chime in, because I didn't have it on here because it just happened yesterday. Last year we did a registered teacher apprentice program, and it went great, but decided that there is a program now through Washburn Tech, and we're gonna be working on, just to let you know that, we have a high school student that is going to Washburn Tech in early childhood. And they have an apprenticeship program that we met with them yesterday. We're planning on moving forward with, that would place one of our high schoolers every Monday morning and Friday morning at the preschool, get an apprenticeship program.
That's awesome.
So, and we definitely want to continue to build that. We're also, and Mark's back here, and he's leading our teacher pathway new program we're working on. So we hope to build into that, just that experience, and people want to get into early childhood education. So there's a couple ways we're trying to grow our own, plus get our own students that
That's awesome.
clinical experience.
Mark, what's that look like? When you say make your own pathway, how does that work?
We're just starting, so we're offering the first class, which is Intro to Teaching this semester.
And this is open to,
It's open to all students.
oh wow.
But it's like any other CTE pathway, but education is one of those career fields that is high demand, low, so it is a funded pathway. And at some point, students will get to those completer courses. But, let's say we average 10 a year in the future, and we get 1 or 2 back. Well, that's 8 that fed some other district,
Sure.
so.
Yeah.
But it's some of the experiences that they'll be able to get, not just going and making copies for a teacher. I mean, it's not a teacher aid. It is getting experience.
So she'll start a program. She's at Washburn Tech regardless. Like, you know, it's just a matter of where do they place her. They spend the first couple of weeks getting their certificates, CPR and whatnot, to be legal to be in the school. And then let's just say September 1st or thereabouts, then she can begin, any student then can begin placing in their schools. So that's where Mondays and Wednesdays for about 3 hours. Instead of going to Washburn Tech for 3 hours, she
No,
comes
that's
to us.
beautiful.
And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, she's at school learning theory and then gets to apply it with 3-year-olds.
Yeah, it's mutually beneficial.
One of the great things that we saw when we went and toured other preschools, because I remember we were in Holton and we're walking around, and you don't want to be judgmental, but you're like, okay, teacher, okay, who's the para, who's special? Those don't look old enough. Well, they're part of the Washburn Tech program to where, you know, and so we want that to be available to our kids. It helps. So we're excited about that. The last thing was just some discussion. What are your thoughts at some point of board meetings over at, it's a great facility.
I just don't want to move them because I want Aaron to have to tote everything over here once a month.
And drop it all in the parking lot.
Well, if anybody saw her, everything, that's why the snack basket was very well organized and stacked. Until,
could we look at the camera on this? Just for you.
Well,
too,
after we
as I-
update it.
Yeah. I'm fine moving them. I'm good either way, really. But I mean, if it would make life easier for anybody, then I'm for moving them. If it's easier here, I don't care.
I will go with the flow, but I will say, and I like the setup in here. I feel like it's more personal. I feel like we're closer
Yeah,
to
we are pretty.
the people that come into the meetings.
You can set that room up how you want.
Well, I do like how we are like this, you know, in the Keystone meetings, we're in a kind
We
of
could do
view.
that.
Well,
I mean,
I
we-
think we're
we
moving
have to
small,
sit with
the
those.
old conference table
Oh,
district
they probably
tables.
took them
They're-
with you.
Yeah, and they're gonna go in there. and
yeah,
stuff,
we're
so
not
we'll
going to
be-
use the big
more
white
happy.
card table. We will still have it set up to where we took our tables from there, so we'll still have it
Like
somewhat
how
in
we
there.
are.
Yes.
And I think your patrons would appreciate not sitting on.
I like how close it is. That was my big thing.
Yeah,
I mean,
we were really like.
The chairs, Keystone left all of the soft cushion, so we could probably seat 40
Okay.
comfortably.
But there has been times, I'm telling you right now, that this room has been full.
Yeah.
So in those
we
cases,
can
we
always
would need to be
change
back
something,
here.
right? Oh,
Yeah,
Actually,
we
that's
change
kind of
whatever.
been thought of. The old conference room TV that was at the district office is now in the playroom, and Brandon has it set up to where we could live stream to that TV for overflow.
We could come back here if we need to, though, right?
100%.
So,
Yes.
nope. Once we move, that's it.
well,
Okay, but no snacks or drinks.
I just, you know, it,
I always have.
I like
snacks
it,
in my bag.
I like it here, but I'm one vote. I like this atmosphere, to me,
Honestly.
but I'm one.
Yeah, I don't know if I care, I'm gonna be honest.
Right, yeah, I'm so indifferent, I can't cast a vote either way.
Other than I hate
Closer
these
to
wooden
that.
chairs.
I do
Sure,
too.
same
These
stuff.
chairs suck.
I hate them.
My only consideration is you guys are already over there, and you know you might be able to set it up during the day and then take a couple hours to go get something to eat. That's
Have
my-
more time
that's my
because you
thought.
guys have
I mean,
work and
that's
then
the
work.
only selfish thing I have to say is that I can get it ready while I'm there
Yeah.
during the day instead
You're not
of
spending
rushing
that
over
2
here.
hours
and
loading
yeah,
everything,
right.
toting everything.
But that's my
And quite
only-
honestly, it's exhausting watching it.
I appreciate that.
well,
So that would be my vote.
but that's up to you guys. We will accommodate.
You're right, yes.
but-
I'll be an Ozaki vote.
I'm sure you will.
Yeah, I mean.
I'm honestly about equidistant, so.
yeah, I was gonna say
I mean, we
go
could
either
do
way.
it where even odd, whatever, but I
No,
don't
I
wanna
think if we
confuse
go,
the
we
public.
go.
Okay, is the public going to flip out if we move them.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Will you? Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, are they gonna throw a fit and think
I
they're
don't
moving
think
it
so.
so
I
less
mean-
people?
Well, we used to meet at the bank.
Yeah, the bank was.
Yeah, but I know, I mean like distance wise,
Yeah.
like this is
Oh,
more of
no,
a
that's
centralized
well.
than Osaki.
Yeah, but it might
Is
be
the
a
only
little
thing.
look into.
We could find out what percent of our patrons live within 2.5 miles.
We should do that.
The only other thing I can think of is with moving forward with the bond. I mean, should we hold off until, like, because this is a larger space where people can't be in one room.
So you wanna revisit it and say the November?
I think that makes
Does
sense.
that work?
That works.
After the election.
Perfect.
Yeah.
We are set up and, you know, they took the projection screen and all that, but
You can do.
This is.
we have one of those over there, these
Okay.
new line boards. And we actually use this for the back to school, you know, it's just, so we're set up to do either place. And we have all the old board furniture over there.
Okay.
The chairs, the tables, all of that, and you could probably put 40 patrons in there. So it's just, it's set up, to accommodate board meetings. So just something to think about. I just wanted to let you know, we're running, the calendars are not out because USPS canceled. If you look at those and you look at the little, where a stamp would be,
Mm-hmm.
and it says account or whatever, number 2, those were all canceled. So we've had to reapply through the federal level to get,
That's crazy.
and it just, so all the boxes are sitting in the board office. And it's not Meriden, it's not Ozaki, both of them are like, you don't have that account anymore. So they, federal.
How do we not have the account?
That doesn't work anymore. We have to
with this-
reapply to get, I don't have whatever that is.
Yeah.
We have to reapply to get that, to be able to mail it again.
As much as I love a paper, the hard copy, it is what it is at this point.
I love you.
And
But
they
just
can
look-
access it on.
We wanted you to know because you get calls.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
Here's
So
why.
thank you.
I got asked a bunch today.
Of
Yeah,
course you did.
I'm sure you'll get a few more questions.
I did not.
you know, we get the normals that come in and say, hey, I haven't got it
Well,
yet.
people-
Can I get 3 extra?
And people didn't get them in the mail, they would go to the post office and there'd be that extra stack and they would go get those from there too.
So that's all I have.
Okay.
You know what it is. If
Guess that's it.
it gets.
Means are-
Me neither.
You
See
know.
you in 3 weeks. Did you guys look at that?